Hello, everybody. How we doing? I'm Craig, and this is the Spirit of Vinyl. Welcome to part 3 of my epic dumpster find. Happy Friday, y'all. Tonight, I am drinking this Yingling Flight. This is the nice light one, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, 4.2 ABV, which is a little light for me, but you know, I gotta stop drinking all those. Hey, I'm a fat guy, so I gotta go with the light beers. I bought these leftover from a party last weekend, and they're not too bad. Basically, they're your Michelob Ultra, Yingling's idea of Michelob Ultra. Pretty good, and actually a little bit cheaper. So, all right, so gonna go back to it. Doing the dumpster finds so you guys can see. Said this was requested a few weeks back, and I'm just going to continue on showing everything I found in that dumpster that day, and hope you guys are enjoying it. I will be jumping on, if there's some threads and stuff in between, but for now, until I get through, like I said, this is part 3, and I still have probably one more episode of my rock pop section before I move on to like hard rock and the heavy metal stuff. So, but this is all good stuff too. So, first up, let me get my notes so I can keep track of it. James Gang Rides Again. This is a U.S. press from 1970. It is on MCA Records. There's not much to go with this one. Nice picture on the back. There's your listing of what's on there. Picture of the guys. It is on MCA. Give you a look at, like every other one of these, just perfect shape when these were found. So this is a really good record. I enjoyed this one a lot. So that's one here. Okay, next up, pull some of these out depending on what I got to show here. This is Journey's Escape, Japanese pressing from 1981. Still like the nice obi here on the side. Look at the edges on that. There's the back cover. Don't Stop Believing, Stone in Love, Who's Crying Now, Keep on Running. Still They Ride, that's side 1. Every one of those songs was a radio hit. Mother, Father. Yeah, this is just one of those great albums. There were other Journey albums in that I kept for a while, but I recently traded them in. The only one I kept was this. There were other Journey albums, but, this is a great record. I really enjoy, but the rest of it, I traded him in. But I did keep him for a while. It comes with this cool little, this is like an order form of some kind. Kind of like a fan club thing. I used Google Translate to read these. That was in there. There's the insert that came with it. With all the Japanese inserts, of course. But cool pictures of the band. And really cool. Kind of has its own label right there. Like I said, nice and shiny. This says it's on CBS Sony. If you look down there at the bottom, you can see the Sony logo right there. So, and that, like I said, is a 1981 original press, not a repress or reissue or anything like that. Like some of these, some of them are reissues, some of them are OGs. So, okay. Next up, I've shown this and talked about this in past episodes, but this is Lou Reed's Rock and Roll Diary. Japanese pressing from 1980. It's on Arista Records. Very good shape. As always. There's the inner sleeve for that. Or the insert, not inner sleeve. It's got lyrics and stuff here on the inside, written in English on the inside, and more lyrics in the back, but all the front is written in Japanese. And this is a double record on Arista. There's what the labels look like. Like I said, another near mint find. This album, you know, I listened to it once or twice. I really like. Sorry, let me get this back in here. Never noticed the jewel tone sleeves also have Japanese writing on them. Never really paid attention to that before. But this, I kind of like. I like some of the early stuff, you know, Waiting for the Man, White Light, White Heat, stuff like that. Stuff that is from, oh yeah, oh wow, son of a bitch. Velvet Underground stuff, you know, I do enjoy that. The later stuff, as this goes on, it's kind of in order of his career. And the later stuff I don't really enjoy as much as his earlier stuff with the Underground. Which is weird because when I listened to the Velvet Underground album, I didn't really care for it either. So, okay, next up. This is Leonard Skinner's Golden Platinum. This is a 1983 European press, says it's made in Germany. This is a reissue because this album originally came out in 1979. Got a cool little drawing on the inside. And there's your track listing of what's on this in the back. Another double record here. Let's see here. This is the kind of like the inner sleeve. It's like a little tiny booklet. It's got lyrics on there instead of having like it on the inner sleeves. It's on like this nice cardboard type thing on there, and it's on MCA Records. And let's see here, and yeah, I'm looking for the made in Germany. I know this is made in Germany, and you can kind of tell if you look. You guys who know your labels, all this stuff right here is more German type stuff. So, but yeah, it's Skinner's greatest hit. So, I mean, nothing to complain about there, that's for sure. Okay, next up. This is Pink Floyd's Ummagumma. And this is a 1978 reissue, Japanese pressing, originally pressed in 1969. And I've shown this on previous episodes and actually talked about this record before. Don't necessarily enjoy it, but I've been told to give it another chance, so I may do just that here in the near future. There's the sheet that came with it right there. But when I listen to this, it's on EMI, and like I said, you can see the gloss and see how nice these records were. Every time I pull one of these out and play it, there's no pops, there's no skips, there's nothing wrong with any of them. I mean, there's not even scuff marks on here. There's not even paper marks. So I just, you know, very thankful that I was able to find these records. And as for this record, like I said, I find it a little hard to listen to. The live stuff on the first album, on the first record, it just seems so long and just drawn out. But that's because I'm not a huge fan of like progressive type music. And, you know, it's not that I'm not a Pink Floyd fan. I am a Pink Floyd fan of certain eras, but I don't know if I care for that or not. But I'll have to give it another go through and see what I think. The next one is an album that I love. Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. This is a Japanese press, but there's no obi on here, and I think probably the reason there's no obi because Wish You Were Here is wrapped up in that like black saran wrap, and I don't have that with this. It was not saved, but there's the back cover. But I do have on this, I do have the inner sleeve and the sheet, of course, the Japanese insert with all the stuff. Nice picture right there. All the writing on that. And then it also has this cool order form. Rock's Best 100. It's got pictures of things that you can order stuff on or whatever. Or just an advertisement of what else they are selling. And it has the cool mechanical hand label on there. Like I said, nice and shiny as always. And this album I love. This era of Pink Floyd I do really enjoy. And like I said, let's see, I say what that was. Wish you were here. They say it's an early 80s Japanese reissue. Originally put out in 1975. But there's no real note on there exactly when it was reissued. But Discogs says it's from the early 80s. So that's where Wish You Were Here comes in at. And the next one, Dark Side of the Moon, Japanese press. Unfortunately, with this one, it does not have all the stuff. Because you look on Discogs and it says what it comes with. A poster, a 23-page booklet, a postcard. I do have the postcard. And I, still has the Obi on it. And it does with the gatefold on the inside. But I don't have any Japanese insert. I don't have a poster. I don't have a 23-page booklet. It's on the brown EMI label. Sounds excellent. It's great. It's unfortunate that I don't have the stuff that originally came with Dark Side of the Moon, because if I did, according to Discogs, this might be my most expensive record. This Japanese pressing, which is, let's see here, 1974 reissue, originally released in 73. This 74 reissue, this Japanese press with all the stuff on Discogs is showing $400. So by not having all that, I doubt I would get that for it. Not that I would sell it anyway. One of the greatest albums of all time, in my opinion. So when it goes back to Ubbingumma, I don't really care for that. It's not that I don't like Pink Floyd. I do love that. I love that era of Floyd. I love the Wish You Were Here, Dark Side of the Moon, The Wall, that era, even some of the Delicate Sound of Thunder and stuff like that. But so maybe it's just something I need to, pay attention to, I guess. I don't know. All right, next up, I've got this REO Speedwagon's Decade of Rock and Roll, right? Yeah, a decade of rock and roll, 1970 to 1980. And this is a U.S. pressing, 1980 OG press. There's the inside cover there. There's the back. This is a greatest hits compilation. It has all of those songs there on it. And is on Epic Records. This is a Pittman press. Double album. Pretty cool stuff. With the REO, I also had more REO. I have one more to show, but there was like a couple of earlier ones. There was, you can't tune a piano, you can't tune a fish or whatever. You can tune a piano, you can't tune a fish. I had a copy of that. A couple other early REO stuff that I traded in because I had the greatest hits that had all the songs that I wanted on it, and then I had a copy of this. So I kept this in the greatest hits, and I traded in the other three recently. There was 2 or 3 other REO albums that I had in this find I traded in. This is High Infidelity. This is also 1980 U.S. pressing, also on Epic Records. Original press. This is a Terre Haute press. It still has the inner sleeve, the lyrics on the one side, picture of the band on the other. There's your back cover right there. And there's a closer of the front cover right there. Great record right here. Keep on Loving You, and Take It on the Run and stuff like that on here. So I kept that one also. All right, next up, what else do I have? Okay, here we go. This is cool right here. Rolling Stones Emotional Rescue. This is a 1980 U.S. press, which is an original pressing. There's the back cover right there. There's your front. It's funny that it's showing on Discogs that this is on Atlantic, but here's with the Rolling Stones Emotional Rescue with the Rolling Stones logo on there. I don't know if this is from Rolling Stones Records or not. Yeah, it says Rolling Stones Records on there. So I don't know why Discogs is showing this as a... I wrote down Atlantic. And this still had the poster in it. And I don't know if you've ever seen this poster. This thing is freaking giant. And I don't even know if it all was going to show, so... Yeah. Look how big this thing is that came in this record. Double-sided. So, yeah, I was pretty excited that I found that in there, especially if you consider how old this is, from the 80s. And I'll tell you, when I first got it and I unfolded it, I think I might have been the first person to unfold it, and I just unfolded there. So that's probably only the third time that poster's been unfolded since 1980. So, yeah, and that's a great record here too. Emotional Rescue, Summer Romance, Send a Dude Let Me Go, Indian Girl. It's got Emotional Rescue, She's So Cold. Pretty cool record from that era of the Stones. And then the next up, the other Stones album that was found that day is Undercover. And this is also on Rolling Stones Records. It's 1983 U.S. press on Rolling Stones Records. And let me see if I can get this out here. It still has all the stickers on it. I've never peeled the sticker because I don't want to try to peel them up because I don't know if they're going to re-stick. Maybe somebody can tell me if they've had this in the past. So I have no idea what's underneath there. I have an idea, but I'm not sure if that's what's really or if it's just going to be some sort of joke. I've never peeled the sticker off because I don't want to worry about trying to put them back on, and I don't want to ruin it. So, and this had the inner sleeve with it right there, and also has subscribe to Beggar's Banquet and get in touch with the Rolling Stones fan club. Let's see what we could get in the fan club here. Kit includes collector's interview record with the Stones, postcards, buttons and stickers, Stones passport info, and 25 collector items in all for the price of... Please send me the full 1-year subscription to Beggar's Banquet, 6 issues, the Rolling Stones collector's kit, and everything else that I just mentioned on here. You could have gotten it all for $11.50. So, but yeah, this has got Undercover the Night, She Was Hot. See, the You Up, Pain of Love. Not really a ton of hits on here, but I kind of dig. I dig this era of the Stones. You know, this is from '83, and you know, Tattoo You is around that time, which is honestly, Tattoo You is my favorite Stones record. I think it's because of my age. When Start Me Up and Hang Fire and all that came out, I was like 12, so it was like the first Stones that I really knew it was Rolling Stones. I'm sure I had heard other Stones music in my life, but never connected it in my brain. So the first time I connected the Rolling Stones to anything that really stuck out, it was that era of the Stones. So that's probably why I'm kind of a fan of that 80s era Stones. All right, one more for today. What I Like About You, Romantics in Heat. 1983 U.S. pressing. original press from that year. Still got, there's your inner sleeve, the Romantics. And yeah, it's got Rock You Up and Got Me Where You Want Me, One in a Million. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, it's got Talking in Your Sleep. That's it. There you go. There's your track listing right there. Kind of a cool sound. The Romantics. This record was all the rage back in 1983. Talking in Your Sleep was a huge hit. I actually got to see the Romantics in concert once. They were a ton of fun. There's their label right there. It is on New Emperor Records. And like I said, that's a U.S. OG press. Pittman pressing, according to all of the marks on the inside. All right, that's all I'm going to show for today. Been on here for 20 minutes. Trying to keep them right around there as to not bore you guys with too much long stuff. But, so yeah, those are, I got probably one more episode and I'll be done with the rock pop section and my various artists. There's a couple in there before I move on to the metal and the hard rock and stuff. So, but I hope you guys are enjoying this, seeing all of this, all of these records that I just found because the gods of vinyl were looking out for me. So I appreciate you all watching and I will talk to you all later. Have a great weekend, everybody. Cheers to you all. Hopefully you guys all had a great one. We'll see you later.